and what we've been through these past few years, they're aiming to boost
Oh boy. Alright. What is going on? Alright, so today we are doing some theory crafting brewing. Talking about cards from set 5, etc., etc., etc. I'm gonna move this a little bit closer. Let me see here. Some really weird. Oh no. Now what? Did my computer just freeze? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What the fuck? I don't know what just happened. Give me 1 second. Son of a gun. Now my computer's probably gonna start being fucking dumb. Oh, come on. This is stupid. Alright, hold on a second, guys. Alright, never mind. Really weird, but my camera just decided to stop working. So, That's alright. I look like a mess anyways. So what we're doing is we're gonna be brewing some decks. I already have a couple brewed, so we'll do a I don't know, little deck tech or whatever you want to call it on those. So first things first. The my computer is a little bit weird right now. There's a lot of widgets that are missing from the screen here. So we'll just go ahead and just kind of jump into it. And just talk about some stuff, I guess. So Set 5 is releasing next weekend. We're kind of getting a jump on things by doing a lot of deck review, or not deck reviews, but card reviews, looking at cards, thinking about what we can put in decks that we already have that exist, and stuff like that. So one thing is, let me see if I can pull it up here. I'm gonna go to Dreamborn really quick. So, okay, that's not exactly what we want to see. So, my Dreamborn's being really weird. So, we're using a different app that doesn't look as... I mean, it's fine, but it's not as clean. But one thing is, this is the deck that I played in Fort Worth, which we actually did pretty decent on. Or decent in. We ended up... We went 2-0 our first round. Our second round, I punted. So, second round, I'm playing against Blue-Red. I'm actually playing against Dinkan Fom from Germany. He ended up making top 16 later. So, he is a really good player, actually, and he just started playing from, what's it called? He switched to Lorcana from Yu-Gi-Oh! Really good player. Shout out him. So we were playing against him, and he wasn't really sure what the Jafar combo was. So it kind of caught him by surprise. We started out with we were playing a small broom package here. So I was playing small broom package to be kind of aggressive in the early game. I at least wanted the one drops. Broom's already good. And you kind of already need Robin Hood in this list. That way you have a shiftable target to sing Whole New World or whatever. So the thing is I could play Snakes instead of Yen Sid. And then like the 3-drop Jafar or the 2-drop evasive Jafar instead of the Broom. But in the testing that I did, like Snake's good. But it's not really what I wanted to do with this list. So instead of playing Snake, I opted to play Yen Sid. And instead of playing the 2-drop Jafar with evasive, I decided to play the Magic Broom, which I think is a correct call. Because the deck was teched more against Bucky. So having the 2/3 body with an evasive on your turn is actually really good against the Diablo and the Bucky, right? Because you want an answer for Diablo, but you don't want something that has only 2 power, because then they could just sing one of their silly songs and it just kills your dude, right? So I played this really small broom package, and it actually put in a lot of work, and I got some wins because you go turn 1 Broom, turn 2 Yen Sid, turn 3 Broom, and then your Yen Sid's questing and Broom's questing for 4. So it's huge tempo, right? And then it's like late game, if you draw the Broom and Yen Sid, it's just a double redraw, which is pretty decent, actually. It wasn't bad. So this is the list that I played in Fort Worth, and overall, we did okay. So game 1 against DK, I caught him off guard with the Jafar wheel combo. I was at 13. I Jafar wheel comboed and ended up winning that game. And that was I think the first time he's seen the combo, actually. So second game, he didn't let a Jafar stay on the field. Now, mind you, I'm only playing 4 of the Jafar Keeper of Secrets. Because I feel like this Jafar, since I'm not playing Blue Fairy, is better because Zeus is just about the only thing that kills it. If you're playing against Red, it's really easy to play around Brawl and Medusa. because you just need to keep 4 cards in your hand, and it's really easy to do that when you're playing things like Friends, Rabbits, and the small broom package that we have, right? So it was pretty good. So my first punt in my game 2 against DK, I played a turn 1 Robin Hood, passed my turn, and then turn 2, like a dummy, I quested with my Robin Hood, leaving it open to be killed by a Rush Queen. He was playing 3 in his list. I wasn't aware that he was playing 3 in the list at the time. I knew he was playing some number, but I didn't know how many, right? So his turn 2, instead of playing 1 jump, he played the Queen and took out my Robin Hood when I had the Shift Robin Hood in my hand. So the game got really grindy after that, right? So he ended up killing my Robin Hood. It set me back a lot because I had the whole new world in my hand to dig for, better or for the combo pieces or for brooms or whatever. So I should have taken a turn off. Let him do nothing on his turn. He told me after the match that the Queen on turn 2 was his only play. So had I taken the turn off, then he loses tempo because he has no turn 2. So the game gets really grindy, so on and so forth. He's not letting Jafar stick around and whatnot. And it essentially turns into I'm gonna play a goat, bounce goat, play something else. There's small quest points here and there. By the end of the game, towards the end of the game, he he played the dig a little deeper card, and that's the card that actually cooked me. He used Maui and Medusa to sing it, and he found his Tamatoa and his dime, or whatnot. Anyhow, so at the end of the game, or the last turn, my last turn essentially, I asked to see his discard, and he had 3 Be Prepareds in his discard, and I played 3 creatures. Or 3 characters. I think I played like a Jafar. I think I played a Jafar, a Little Tinkerbell, I think it was a Little Tinkerbell. I think I played a Jafar, a Little Tinkerbell, and a 2-drop Broom. I was at 19 lore. I played 3 creatures because I counted 3 Be Prepareds in his discard. And I know that most lists only play 3 Be Prepareds. And yeah, so that's what ultimately got me. Was I counted the 3 Be Prepared, so I dumped my hand, and I was at 19. So I pretty much put him in a position where it's like, hey, you have to kill everything, or or I win this game. So I didn't respect the 4th Be Prepared, and that's what ultimately lost me the game on that. So anyways, I told you that story, so I can tell you this story. So moving into set 5. Jafar is actually one of the lists that I want to brew the most because I feel like it got a lot of support this go around. So this is kind of what the old list looks like, and this app looks a lot better than the other app I'm using to show you my new list. So I do apologize for that. So my new list for Jafar looks something like this. So we're still playing the Robin Hoods, but we're utilizing more of the bounce package this go around. Right, so we're using the foxes and the snakes, and the reason why we're using both of those is because we want to abuse this peat, right? So this peat has been the talk of a lot of futuristic issues or futuristic problems, maybe, right? So you got 3-drop Pete, and essentially what this says is whenever you play Pete, your opponents cannot play actions on the following turn, right? So the only thing in the game that essentially beats or kills this Jafar is Be Prepared or Be Prepared like actions, right? Because it's really hard. It's really hard to. You can't brawl it. You can't Medusa it. I mean, like you can't Medusa it. I guess you have dragon. You can dragon it if you're playing dragons, but I know most Ruby Amethyst lists have moved away from dragon. I think the only deck right now that's playing dragon is blue red, and for good reason. Dragon and other decks are kind of slow. So essentially, if you have the Pete, you can protect your Jafar from things like Be Prepareds and Be King Undisputeds and Along Came Zeus and that sort of stuff. All right. So utilizing the bounce package over the broom package now essentially protects your Jafar from being challenged because he has evasive, and your opponents can't target him with very many things anymore. So I think that is typically the way you want to go now. I don't know how I feel about this Jafar in this list. I do want to try it because I feel like it has really good potential. The opposing characters with cost 4 or less can't be challenged. Pretty powerful effect, and the 0-7 is kind of cliche, I guess. Like, you're hoping that your opponent doesn't brawl or Medusa it, right? Because, and I mean, there's like 50% of the really good cards in the game that get brawled or Medusa, but people play them anyways, right? Like, the biggest issue is if you play the 6-drop and it just dies to brawl on the following turn. It feels really bad because they've only spent 3 resources to kill your 6 resource thing, but the hope is that you play enough threats earlier in the game that absorb their removal, right? So like I guess Robin Hoods. I guess there's not a lot of here that could be brawled. So if you're playing, that's the other thing too, is like if you're playing against Ruby Amethyst and they see that you're playing a bunch of like 3 or 4 powered things, chances are they're gonna like pitch their brawls to the Inkwell or something because for whatever reason. So I don't know. I think it's worth testing. I don't know how good it's gonna be. The Challenger 7's pretty neat. It kills Castle if it survives. This, that, and the other. That's the big thing, is if, right? So I think it's worth testing. I don't know how good it's gonna be. So I think it has great potential to do a really good thing. This is the Gaunt 2 from set 1 that we all deserved. Next card, Elsa the Fifth Spirit. I think that this card's amazing. I don't know how good it's going to be in this list, but I also think it's worth testing. Rush evasive. When you play the character, exert opposing character. So it's a good way to play this, exert something so your Fox can kill it, or Robin Hood can challenge it, or something along those lines, right? So Elsa, I think it's a very good card. Yeah, I'm not gonna it's evasive rush and a 2/5. So I mean, like, it doesn't die very easy. Grab your swords. So grab your swords is going to be an extremely good card, probably just about forever. So Aggro is probably the set gonna be on a big rise. The Daisy Duck, if you're not aware, that's essentially the Goblin Guide of Lorcana, an uninkable 1/1 or an uninkable 1-drop that has a 1/4 body. Whenever it quests for 2, whenever it quests, you reveal the top card of your opponent's library. If it's a character, they draw it, or it goes to their hand. I think that card's gonna be problematic, but so I think that card is going to give Hyper Aggro, a really good spot in the meta. Whole New World needs little to no introduction. Jafar singing this, it's just it's the combo. It's just you draw 7, gain 7. Draw 7 cards, gain 7 lore. Robin Hood needs no introduction. It's a character that can chain Whole New Worlds together with Jafar. Jafar, Keeper of Secrets. Alright, so there's a lot of Jafar wheel lists that are playing the 4-drop Jafar Dreadnought. the reason why they were playing that one is because most lists were also playing Blue Fairy. So Blue Fairy saying, whenever you play a Floodborn, you draw a card, which is really good. Would be why you would play the 4-drop Steel Jafar over this one, and that's just about the only reason. And whenever it banishes something, you can draw a card, but most of the time you're not wanting to challenge with it because you want it to stay alive so you can shift. So I opted for this Jafar because it's easier to play around Medusa and Brawl. It gets +1 power for each card in your hand, and it's very easy to have a lot of cards in your hand when you're playing Friends on the Other Side and Whole New World, right? I also need to go back and find room for rabbits in this list. Because I was looking, so up here in the top, I think this top right, the 7, I think is how many Uninkables I'm playing. Which is just these 2. Which isn't bad. But I do believe I need to find a room for rabbits as another 4-drop or whatnot. Pete, busted card. Probably in my opinion, the strongest card from the set. It says whenever you play the card, your opponents can't play actions for the next turn. All right. So using a card like Pete, and then being able to play a card like Madam Mim, Madam Mim Snake or Fox, or there's even a new one that's the Elephant. But being able to play them, shut your opponent off from actions the next turn, and then bounce him, and then replay him and do the same thing, is absolutely insane. Without the bounce package, I think that this character has a very high ceiling but a very low floor, meaning that his effect is only good in certain spots. But being able to essentially bounce Pete and replay Pete, 8 times or even 6 times, 3 times is still a lot. So Pete in the Jafar wheel list is essentially how you protect your combo. So if you play Pete and you take your opponent off of actions such as Be Prepared, Be King Undisputed, Along Came Zeus, and that sort of thing, like your Jafar is not going to go anywhere. It's very hard to trade into it with evasive characters unless your opponent's on something like Maui's Fishhook. Which I don't know if that card is going to come back to the meta or not now that Bucky has gotten a nerf. But Pete, an extremely good card. We're putting 2 binges in because it's a 2/3 body that quests for 2 that also banishes an item. So it's a really good card into like the blue steel, red blue, anything that plays dime essentially. So if you're playing anything that plays dime, you're most likely also playing Fishbone Quill. And Binja on the draw or play against Fishbone Quill is really good to take your opponent off of that ramp that they're trying to do. It's also good late game against the Lucky Dime. So getting rid of a Lucky Dime is really good, especially going into set 5 where the Mufasa, like people are gonna be playing Mufasa, the blue Mufasa. That's really good, and they're gonna also be playing Tamato is not going anywhere. Anything that's a really good Lucky Dime target essentially isn't going anywhere. So Lucky Dime is gonna be around for a while. Friends on the Other Side, everybody knows what that does. Same with Fox. Baboom answers some early aggro stuff that your snakes and stuff can't, or it just helps. It essentially helps everything get rid of the Daisy Duck, essentially. Amethyst Chromacon. I love this card. 2-drop card, each player may draw a card. And it's one of those things where it might get overlooked by some people because it's putting cards into your opponent's hand. But I don't think that really matters that much. Especially if you have, especially like in a list like this where you're a combo deck anyways. So like the combo decks don't really care what your opponent's doing. You just care about what you are trying to do. Alright. So if you go like let's just say you go like turn 2 Chromacon, turn 3 Chromacon, right? And then turn 4 you can play your Jafar. Now your Chromacons are helping your Jafar stay above that 2 and 3 strength. That way your opponents can't Brawl or Medusa, or the 1-drop Sisu might actually be seen play now. So like as long as you stay above 3, your Jafar is usually safe. That way on turn 5 you can shift Jafar and sing, right? And that's ultimately kind of what you're trying to do. It doesn't matter when you combo. Well, it kind of matters when you combo, right? You kind of want to combo to like try to finish out the game. But if you're playing the Chromacons and the Jafars and you can block your opponent from playing actions with the Pete, then I think it's very strong to play the Chromacons, because you're looking for the extra bounces to keep your opponents off of their actions that would otherwise get rid of your Jafars. So yeah, card is insane. I think it's actually the best Chromacon that they printed. It's very good. It's also very good in Hyper Aggro too. Madam M Snakes, like I said, we're utilizing the bounce package so we can abuse Pete. Otherwise, we don't really care much for them. We can, they're always gonna be a very good card. Churnabox Followers needs little to no introduction. We're playing it in this list because it says draw a card on it, and drawing a card on it sounds really good when you're playing Jafar. And then the 1-drop Robin Hoods. 1-drop Robin Hoods because we want to shift the 5-drop Robin Hood. But overall, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to give this a test. I wish that we could play test it today, but unfortunately, we have to wait until we acquire all the cards next weekend. The 6-drop Jafar might actually be the first card of this list that I actually cut. I want to test it because it has high potential, but I'm not expecting. My expectations aren't super high on it. So yeah, this is the Jafar list that my rough draft of the Jafar list that I'm going to be running the set, and I think it has actually really good. I think Jafar has really good potential this set. So then the next deck that I brewed last night is this it's a really good idea. I don't know how good it's going to be in paper, because it requires a lot of moving pieces. So I named it an Emerald Steel Prison list, right? And the idea behind this is you want to get to a point in the game where you just kind of lock your opponent out of doing everything. So how do we do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. So most likely, or just like the last deck let's just start from the top, all right? So Diablo is a really good card. It's going to be a good card probably forever. 1 ink to look at your opponent's hand with a body is insane. So now you know exactly what your opponent has and exactly what you need to play around. So from there, our turn 2 is very situational based. So based off of what you see with Diablo, your turn 2 is either Ursula Deceiver. If you're playing against a Sapphire deck, you want to make sure that you can take the what do you call it? The 1-jump. You want the 1-jump out of their hand. If you take the 1-jump on your opponent's turn, going into your opponent's turn 2, it's going to slow them down so much. If there's no Ursula and your opponent's playing a ramp deck anyways, you can always, turn to another character into play, probably a Robin Hood, so you can set up the Robin Hood shift line. But you just want to make sure that you can get that early lore in. All right. So there's those 3. The next one that we're playing is the 1/3 Mother Gothel. And I don't know how I have mixed feelings about this card. So for 2 mana, it's a 1/3 body that quests for 1. However, it has a kicker on it that you can pay 3 to bounce a character. So this can either be a turn 2 or a turn 5 play, which is good when it's good and bad when it's bad, right? So like your typical thing is like turn 1 you want to play Diablo, turn 2 maybe an Ursula or a Robin Hood, and then turn 3 we're wanting to play an Ursula Singer, or we can shift. We have the shift Robin Hood in here too. So it's like your turn 3 is just very situational off of what else is going on. Okay. So if you're playing against let's say you're playing against the Ruby Sapphire, right? And turn 1 you play the Diablo. You see that they have the 1 jump. Turn 2 you want to play the Ursula Deceiver, and then you can take their 1 jump away from them. And then have them do a different turn 2. And then you can move into your turn 3 also on your turn 2 you can also shift Diablo. Let's not forget that, because drawing cards is really good. Turn 3 is either Ursula to double sing songs, Prince John's Mirror, or Pete. If you're playing against the like a Ruby Sapphire deck, or if you're playing against anything Ruby, right, then your turn 3 is probably gonna be your turn 3 going into your opponent's turn 3. I don't know, it might be an Ursula. Like the way that you want it to line up is where you can play your Ursula on turn 3, and then on your turn 4 you can use your Ursula to sing a card like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. So it double sings it, right? So you get two bounce and replays. So your first bounce and replay is going to be pick up Ursula, play Pete, and then your second one is going to be pick up Pete and then replay Ursula. Okay? So essentially what you just did is you just sang a song that lets your opponents not play actions on their next turn, and then goes back to your hand, and then it puts your Ursula back into play, which I think it can be really strong. So now on your turn, your opponent going into their turn 4 cannot play their Be King Disputeds, Brawls, Friends on the Other Side, Zeus. They can't, like, essentially any sort of actions that could, kill your Diablos or your Ursulas or whatever can't be played. All right, and that's going to be kind of the gist of being able to abuse Pete in this list, all right, is using Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo and Mother Knows Best not to take care of your opponent's board, but to bounce your own Pete. That way you have some sort of like a draw packet or a bounce package in your own list that lets you abuse this card, okay? And then going into your turn 5, you have or turn 4, I'm sorry. Turn 4, so Hypnotic Deduction is a good way to, search for combo pieces, such as like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boos, the Pete's, or if you need an answer to something else, you have the Strength of Raging Fire and Zeus, right? So Hypnotic Deduction is a really good way to draw cards and put cards back. So even if you needed like an inkable card, right, because you don't want to get rid of your non-inkables, like the Bibbidi Bobbities or the Mother Knows Best, you draw 3, and then you can put 2 of those non-inkable cards back on top, and now you have inkable cards in your hand, so you can keep moving forward, right? So using the Mother Knows Best and the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo to that way you can abuse your Pete it might be good and it might be bad. I don't know. It's just a theory. Like, the deck sounds decent on paper. I'd have to do some playtesting with it, that way I can fine tune it. But I think that the Emerald Steel Prison list has a pretty good chance this set. And it's a deck that I've actually wanted to make since set 1, but I feel like we've now gotten enough cards to where we can do something with it. We're 3 copies of Strength. With the lower drop characters, Strength is really good, especially when Ursula can double sing it. It answers a lot of things. 2 Along Came Zeus. You can never go wrong with one-shotting like a beast tragic hero on your opponent's side, or anything else that's problematic. Three or Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, also really good card in the list. It quest for 2, has a big body, has some very good wording on it that makes your opponent use a removal on it instead of your other pieces. Tragic Hero needs no introduction. Everybody knows what he does. Extra card draw on the list is really good. And then we get to the lockout aspect of the game, right? So you have all the tempo. You have the Mother Gothels to bounce characters. You have the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boos and the Mother Knows Best to lock your opponent out of plain actions. So then you get to the Jafar, right? So now your opposing characters with cost 4 or less can't challenge at all. Hey, what's going on, Beastbender? Good to see you. So this is we're theory crafting some lists right now. So this list that I come up with is a list to lock your opponent out of the game. So everybody thought Bucky was annoying, but we're gonna try to be a little bit more annoying than Bucky. So the Jafar, opposing characters with cost 4 or less can't challenge. So that's actually significant wording, because that means that at this point, the only character that you're actually worried about is Maui. Okay? And if your opponent's not playing Mauis, then your opponent's probably not challenging anything. It takes a lot in other colors to get to, I don't know what characters in other colors actually have more than 5 costs that you actually want to challenge with. I guess Tinkerbell does, but Tinkerbell doesn't kill this. So they attack your Jafar with a Tinkerbell, and then you just like, and that's if it lives, right? Like this even like withstands a Maui attack, which is pretty significant. So Maui's about the only character that is going to actually crash into something the turn that is played. I guess you got snakes, foxes, but foxes are the same way. Excuse me. I do not know. I probably will not be going to League tonight. I'm kind of waiting for Set 5 to come out, and I'm just brewing decks right now with Set 5. That way next week, or next, I don't know, whenever I get the cards, then we can play test or whatever. So yeah, that's the Jafar. So characters 4 or less can't challenge. So you're only scared of Maui. And even then, Maui doesn't kill this. So how scared are you really of Maui? And then the other part of the lockout. Mother Gothel. 3/6. While this character is exerted, opposing characters can't quest. So now... Oh, that's funny. So if you have the Mother Gothel on the field exerted, and you have the Jafar, so let's say on your turn 6, you play the Mother Gothel, and they don't have an answer for it, which they may or may not, who knows. And you're able to quest with this one time. So as soon as you can quest with it, or you tap it somehow, or whatever, you can't tap it with this list, but... So you have the Mother Gothel. You just quested with it, and now you drop your Jafar. So now your opponents cannot quest, and your opponent's characters with 4 or less can't challenge, right? So now they need exactly like some sort of like be prepared or something in order to like wipe your board before you get the full lockout, right? So you're limiting down their options to not be locked completely out by one turn. So then if you can get this on the field and then play a Pete, that pretty much ensures that your opponent is completely locked out of the game. Because then they can't quest, they can't challenge unless you have something that attacks the turn it's played, like Maui or Fox. Which Maui can kill the Gothel, but not the Jafar. And then they also can't play actions. Alright? So then... once you do that, that's at the point to where like you just kind of like just tempo your opponent out of the game at that point. Well, you lock them out essentially. So that's why we kind of name it a prison. That's why we named it Emerald Steel Prison, right? That way you can, yeah, you just essentially putting your opponent into, you're just essentially putting them in prison, right? They can't do anything. So yeah, those are the two lists that I have brewed right now, or have brewed right now, is the Jafar Wheel and Emerald Steel Prison. So there's actually another list that I want to make. Also, if you ever look at the meta reports and you see like, you know, 25% of people are playing this, 23% of people are playing this, and it keeps going around the pie chart. There's this little sliver of pie at the top that says like 0.1% other. That's where you're gonna find me at. Is like right up. I'm hanging out with the other 0.1% of people that, you know, like to play just janky stuff, which is pretty fine. All right, so the next list I want to make is a Amber Ruby list. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, this guy's about to brew Mufasa. No, we're gonna try something different. And again, this is all theory. All right, so this is if it works, it's gonna be good. Even if it doesn't work, well, then it's just bad at that point, right? All right, let's see here. Set Shimmering Skies. Yeah, so we're already auto including 4 Daisy Ducks. This card is absolutely insane. If you're playing Amber and you're not playing Daisy Duck, you're probably wrong. I think that this actually has a spot in just about every Amber deck. I could be wrong. I think that, I don't know, just a 1/4 that quest for 2. Like, it doesn't matter what the downsize is, right? It takes so much to get rid of this card. It's insane. I think that that's gonna be the card that puts hyper aggro back into the meta. It's crazy to say that, right? Like, oh, I don't know. You know, it's like one character doesn't determine a deck. I'm actually having an issue with Dreamborn right now. For some reason my picture images aren't loading on it, which is really weird. All right, so we got the Daisy. I don't know that there's actually any other 1 or 2 drops from Shimmering, or 1 drops that we want from Shimmering Sky, but we'll move on down the list here. Another deck that I actually want to build. So way back in the day, back in my day, when Lorcana first came out, I played a blue yellow list that was actually really sweet, and it was Battle Princesses. And I might actually try to revamp the deck now that there's like the Queen Sensor Core, and I think that there's like a Hans or something that comes out that has Princess Energy. So that's another list that we might actually look at. But we will do that after we brew our red-yellow list. All right, so red-yellow. So we got the Daisy Duck. What else do we got? Let's see. Rush, this sheriff, King Candy. I don't know that there's actually anything else from up here that we want. I think there's actually a, oh yeah, yeah, there's not. I know the other 1 drop that we want. We can probably, let's see, whenever this character or one of your other characters named Mickey. Okay, we don't want that. All right, so the census of the deck is this deck is gonna revolve around this Robin Hood, so we want 4 of him. So we're up to what, 8 on Inkables already. That's pretty good. So got that. And then Maribel's, I wish that Maribel was a lot better than what it actually is, but it's not. Mountain Fudge, no. Revive. This is another card that we're gonna put revives in here because I like to reanimate things. I've played Magic the Gathering competitively for about 20 years, and Reanimator was always one of my favorites. So now that we have a reanimate card, it's time to cook, right? Let's see. What's these? Blast from Your Past. I think I want to put 3. And I think that's going to be it for our non-inkable cards. So we got what? 4, 8, 12, 15. 15's not bad. So those are going to be all of the uninkables we're going to run. So Blast from Your Past. Name a card. Return all characters with that name from your discard to your hand. Not a bad card. Essentially Robin Hood's. So Robin Hood, whenever this character quests, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal an action card with 6 or less, and play it for free. Put the rest into your discard. Alright, so this is what we're doing. Alright, so Robin Hood, if it quests, big if, because this thing might die, this thing also might live, who knows. It just depends on how the meta feels about Robin Hood. Alright, so the idea here is whenever you quest, hopefully you hit a revive, all right? If you quest and you hit a revive, Robin Hood's effect is fully resolved with the revive option in the bag, essentially. Meaning that if you quest for 2, you look at the top 4, 3 are characters, 1's a revive. You choose the revive, and then you can choose one of the other 3 characters to reanimate, all right, or revive, essentially. That is the game ruling. I already discussed that with a judge, and that is how it works. So, pretty cool. It might actually make this card a lot better than what people are giving it credit for. We don't know. It hasn't been tested, but it has been thought of. Okay. All right. So now. Blast from Your Past, name a card, return all cards with that name from your discard to your hand. Okay? So let's say you mill over a revive and 2 daisies, right? So you can revive one of the daisies, then use your Blast from the Past to get the other ones back, and then play them all. Pretty neat. And then we win, right? Probably not. We probably run into a Be Prepared or something after that. But we're not going to hyperfixate on that. We're going to keep moving forward. That's what we're going to do. All right, so I think these are the only cards from set 5 we actually want. All right, so now moving on. We don't want any more non-inkables because we don't want to run into the issue of having... Actually, we might actually include some more non-inkables, which is probably a bad idea. So we got, what, 4, 8, 12, 15? Nah, I think 15 is probably where we want to stay around. 1-drop Mulan, that's pretty much a must-have, right? And then so we got the 1-drop Mulan. We're probably gonna include the Shift Heart or the Shift Mulan just because it can just kill everything if your opponent's not playing around it. Let's see what else we got. 1-drop Mulan, break free, blah 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 blah. We could give something more power. That would be neat, right? So like, yes and no on the like we want more actions with Robin Hood because I also have another really spicy idea, and which is why I don't want to go over 15 non-inkables. Man, there's so many good non-inkables in Ruby Amber. Holy smokes. Let's see. The LeFou's not bad if we're playing Gastons. I don't know if we're playing Gastons. It would really help if all these were in English too. I don't know much foreign language. Is there a 1-drop Minnie Mouse? I don't think there is there? No, I don't think so. Alright, never mind. I was gonna say, like, a Minnie Mouse shift target, or Minnie Mouse shifting would be pretty sweet. Piglet Pirate Captain is pretty good. I like Piglet. Let's see. I don't know what that one does. Rapunzel, Alright, let's keep going. Bodyguard. We can play a Bodyguard Simba, maybe. We'll come back to that one. Or even Sleepy, right? Like, going Piglet into Sleepy, and then if they get rid of Piglet, Sleepy's still there. So, I mean, like, it adds to the aggro plan. Like, we can add... Oh, yeah, you're right. There is a 1-drop mini in red, isn't there? Oh, do we want to add the 1-drop mini so we can shift the 5-drop mini onto it? I forgot all about that. Or it's not a 5-drop mini. You're right. So my camera's being really weird right now. I'll be give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. What? Another what? No. This is just for my phone. That's how I'm looking at Twitch chat. My whole thing's just messed up. My camera's not working. My Twitch chat and my software's not working. Nothing's working. Nothing's working today. Yeah, we're just I'm cutting my finger off today. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it was a good time. We've had a good time all day. Why is now my computer's beeping for some reason? What in the fudge sickles? Holy smokes. Alright, whatever. My phone's gonna die. I'm just gonna accept that. I think I got it back up here. Alright, cool. Here we go. We're back. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and just shut something off really quick. This one. Just gonna go ahead and get rid of that because you guys can't see me anyways. Okay, so back to it. There is a 1-drop mini in red. That is a fair point. I don't know that we're already running 8 1-drops. Maybe I don't really want to include just like 2 or 3. If we hit the shift target, I would really want to hit the shift target. I don't think Minnie Mouse makes a cut, unfortunately. Next thing, let's see. What are we doing now? Okay, so we got Sleepy. All right, so we're doing. Sorry. So 1-drop. We kind of want the 1-drop into whatever though, right? So maybe like doing the 1-drop, maybe 1-drop queen to have the shift queen is okay. Because Revive can still hit the 5-drop queen too. So maybe hitting the queen. So queens, Mulans, and daisies. Maybe those are 1-drop slots. And then we got Piglet. So the ideal is Daisy turn 1, Piglet turn 2, and then turn 3 maybe Sleepy. You know, and Perdita's starting to look really nice in this list too. Let's see. So we were down here. So we got the Sleepy. We probably want to do at least a couple copies of Bare Necessities. Probably 3, to be honest. Probably want 3 Bare Necessities. That way we can get rid of the swords and the B preps and stuff along those lines. So that's fine. Where is our draw? Okay, so as far as a draw engine goes, we need Mother Gothel. That's in red. How many? I'm only playing 1 princess, so I don't know that the. So none of these. What's the Amber Chromacon's not that great. Pride Lands, no. Rapunzel's Tower. That's an interesting card. 2 ink, 1 to move there. Characters get +3 willpower while here, and the location has 8 willpower. I kind of like this, but I don't know that I like it in this list. Yeah, I don't think that one makes the cut. Let's see. I kind of want to put the Underworld in here, just because Robin Hood's going to be sending cards to the graveyard so often, or discard, I'm sorry. Because Robin Hood's going to be sending characters to the discard so often. So the having a couple copies of the Underworld's probably not bad. Just, you can move your Daisy there and then quest with Daisy, pay 3. Paying 3's a lot though, isn't it? Oh man. Yeah, I don't, as much as I like it, I don't, it's just that pay 3 just kills it for me. Let's see here. Which, I mean, like, it's not awful if you think about it. Boone, Mountain Fudge, no. Flynn Rider. I don't think Flynn Rider makes the cut with all these 2/2s and 1/4s running around. Let's do. So we still need 16 more cards. That's still a lot. There's still a lot of room to go. This is one thing that we do have. Mother Gothel should be around here somewhere. It's in set 2. Alright. Refresh the page. Oh no, it deleted the list. That's right. I remember what it was. We're just gonna have 15 copies of the Daisy. Daisy, Queen, Robin Hood, Revive. So Amber Red. Oh my, this looks totally different than what it was. Doesn't it? Or am I crazy? No, it looks way different. Alright, so yeah, this looks way different. It's alright. We'll figure it out together. Where's my piglet at? There's my Mother Gothel. We are just talking about that one. Mulan should be around here somewhere. Sleepy. Piglet. Okay, so Daisy, Queen, Mother Gothel, Sleepy, Piglet. That's a lot of 2-drops too. Okay, I don't think that we include Sleepy. Let's see. Robin Hood and we need Rapunzel and Robin Hood. It kind of puts us back to where we were. Alright, so here's Rapunzel. Where's Robin Hood at? He's in here somewhere. Here he is. Alright, now we're back to where we, well, kind of back to where we were. Let's get our revives and whatnots back. Blast from the past. What do we want? We want 2 or 3. So 2, 4, so 6, 10. Oh, we can only, yeah, we'll just play 2. That's fine. Actually, that might actually be bad. We want 4 revives. Alright, so Robin Hood Reanimator. We'll call it Robinator. That's a good name for it. Robinator. Or Robin the Grave or something. I think that somebody came up with that other name. That somebody else probably booked that name. Then the 5-drop Queen. And since we're playing the revives and they hit a character 5 or less, we might as well just go ahead and include Mufasa, right? Like if Mufasa flips one of these other cards, it's probably fine. Kita's probably not awful in this deck. It's another 5-drop. It protects everything. Vanellope Bond Sweets. Let's see what this does. Whenever you play another princess character, all opposing characters get -1. It's interesting. Oops. So we got the Rapunzel's Blasphemy Past. I think actually we want to go up to 3 on that. And then there's a beast too, right? There's like a beast that comes into play damaged. What set is that from? Is that like set 2? Set 3, 4, something? Is it a 3-drop, I thought? Yeah, this one. Alright, so now we're playing all the damage characters. So like Mother Gothel. Oh yeah, we need the 1-drop Mulan. Forgot about that one. We need that card draw. 2, 3, 4. 4 of thems. I know that there's probably a Mufasa player in here being like, what the is this guy doing? But that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, even if mine's wrong. And by no means am I saying that this deck is actually going to be good. So I do want to include at least two of those Mulans. It's gonna be like one of our most effective ways to board clear somebody. I think. I don't know. I've never played the. Okay, so this is my thought. All right, is I want 3 Chernobyls. I want 3 Chernobyls because Robin Hood's gonna send so many characters to the discard. If I do this right, I can have a turn like 5 Chernobog or whatever, just by self-milling. And it prevents me from like actually milling out, right? So Chernobog, 3 of. I might actually cut these. Might actually just play 1. Just in case. What's Robin Hood say? Cost 6 or less. Okay. 6 or less isn't bad. So that means that if I flip over the Blasphemer Past, I can grab it, cast it for free, grab the Chernobog, and then replay Chernobog, shuffle everything back into my deck. So that would be neat. That would be neat. So we're gonna go down to 1 of those. We're gonna go up 3 Chernobogs to prevent us from milling ourselves out. And then we got 4, 8, 12, 15, 16 uninkables. How many uninkables is too much in a non-sapphire deck? Any idea? Is 15 too much? Maybe it's maybe 18 is too much, right? I don't know. I want to add. I'm putting 2 Gastons in there. I'm pulling the trigger. We're going up something uninkables here. Don't think I won't do it. Okay. 8 more cards. We want to try to keep them less than 5 because of the revive. So let's go back down here. Oh, Maui. That's an easy 4 of, right? Golly, if I could play 8 Mauis, I would do it. Let's see. Donald Duck Pie Slinger. What's this do? Alright, let's take a look. Whenever you play this character, if you use shift, each opponent loses 2 lore. While an opponent has 10 or more lore, this character gets plus 6 power. What? Alright, I don't think we're slinging pies today, guys. Not gonna be slinging pies. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. We have some potential draw synergy here with Rapunzel. Whenever you remove 1 or more damage from one of your characters, you can draw a card. So like, we got some draw combo potential with just stacking Rapunzels. So if you have this Rapunzel on the field and then you revive this Rapunzel, then so if you have this one on the field, you quest with the Robin Hood. And again, we're talking about like extremely small variants here, all right? So we're talking like out of like 50 games, this might work 5 times. Okay? Where you have this Rapunzel on the field, you quest with this Robin Hood, and then you hit this Rapunzel or this I guess you just have to hit a revive, I guess, or have a revive in your hand. So anyhow, this character's on the field. You get this Rapunzel on the field. You remove 3 damage. You draw 3 cards, and then you 1 or more damage. Oh, I misread it. This card's not good. Now play Rapunzel's Tower, then Rapunzel deck. I don't know if I want to do a Rapunzel tribal list. That's a lot. We're asking for a lot. Oh man. You know, this card's insane. It's so good. Never mind, I lied. I don't know. I like the idea. I really like the idea of just like, I'm gonna revive my Minnie Mouse and kill your dude. Like that's, I think it's pretty cool, but I don't think it's good. Let's see what else we got. There has to be like good bodyguards, right? Are there any good like inkable bodyguards in red or yellow that are 5 or less? There has to be something, right? What's this Goofy do? Oh, we got the Donald Duck, right? It's like the 3-drop Donald that gives something +1 lore. That one's pretty decent. Yeah, there's a Simba in set 1, but like, is it like really? I don't know. It would make sure that we have like, I guess it would protect our Daisy on turn 2, which could be crucial if we're playing against something that has rush characters, right? So I mean, like Simba might actually be the way to go just based off of that. Like we don't want our Daisy to be like dead. What kills Daisy? What kills Daisy turn 2? Or you're on the play, right? You're on the play. You go turn 1 Daisy Duck. Like, hey guys, here's a 1/4. Deal with it. Like what kills that? On turn 2. Or your opponent's turn 1 or turn 2, I guess. Is there anything that kills it? Like it gets befuddled. Like you can befuddle it. Like cool turn 1, you bounced my dude. Like I don't right. Like I don't think anything like actually like kills it. Huh. What are these? What is this card? Maximus. What's this one? Mickey. Max. If you have a character named Prince Eric in play, it costs 1 less. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a good answer. Turn 2 Shift Queen. You don't need, if you turn 2 Shift Queen. Yeah, that pretty much kills it dead. So we're talking about, yeah, you have to have 2 cards exactly to do it. Because like even if your opponent just has the queen, right? Like queen killing the queen trading into the daisy opposed to singing whole new world or something like that. Like it still feels pretty good, right? Like I quested for 2. I mean, if I quested yet, right? Because that's like on the draw. On the draw, if I go turn 1 Daisy, your opponent can do the whole like turn 2 shift queen sing Zeus. But it's like your opponent's down 3 cards and they had to Zeus a 2 or they Zeused a 1-drop. Like that doesn't feel awful. I'm telling you, Daisy Duck is cracked. Daisy Duck is 100% cracked. Oh, we could play Doc. What do we think about Doc? I feel like I just went Squirrel. Doc. So 3-drop. It's a 3-drop lantern, but it's also inkable on a quest for 2. So it lets us play Mufasa a turn earlier. What? Look up birds fly places on Dreamborn. I told you, man. I'm having issues with Dreamborn. My Dreamborn's not wanting to work. It's on strike. It's on strike right now because of what's it called? Pay raises. I didn't give it a pay raise, so my Dreamborn stopped working. I think Doc can fit into this list maybe. No, we wanted bodyguard. That's what I was talking about. We want a bodyguard. So I think you're right. I think Simba's actually the best thing because is it though? I don't really foresee them like it's gonna take them 2 turns to kill Daisy. So maybe Donald is the way to go. Where are you at, Donald? I think you made the cut. Yeah. So I think this is the list. And we're gonna name it what are we gonna name it? What in the world's go? Oh my gosh, what just happened? Name of the deck. Oh, we have to go back here. I have to type the name. All right, what are we naming this deck? The Robinator. What about Robinator? Votes for Robinator? No votes for Robinator. Robin the Grave. Robinator. Okay, Robinator. No. No, yes. I got one yes, I got one no. Ducked. What are you naming it ducked for? What do you... There's not even... Like, we got one... We got... I guess we got Daisy and Donald. The dynamic duo. The... Oh, here you go. I got it. Ducknamic Duo. What about that? Ducknamic Duo. Dynamic Duck. Ducknamic... The Ducknamic Duo. Alright, there we go. It's the Ducknamic Duo, guys. We'll save it. Saved. We'll go back to this one. We're gonna delete the blank name. All right. So we got 3 ducks. We got 3 ducks. We got 3 ducks that are probably not in a row. I do not have all of my ducks in a row, so my ducks are not in a row. I don't even know where some of them are. All right. All right. So now let's clear this. What's the next color combo? What do you guys want to see? What are we brewing? So we got 3 decks. We got Jafar Wheel, we got the Ducknamic Duo, and we got Emerald Steel Prison. What are we doing next? Oh, Wreck-It Ralph. All right. So Wreck-It Ralph is obviously red. All right. What are we pairing it with? Hyper Aggro. Hyper Aggro is probably Amethyst Amber. And that would look, had to be yellow. What's Hyper Aggro is definitely like Amber Amethyst, right? I mean, like, we can run through a Hyper Aggro list really quick. Playing Amber, definitely start out with daisies. You go daisies, probably Archimedes, and we'll get to that in a minute. Probably some variations of Maleficence. Or Pascal. I don't know if Pascal actually makes a cut in this. I think Pascal's is probably not fine. Let's see. Befuddle, you want at least 2 Befuddle. So you want 2 Befuddle so you can bounce your opponent's answers to your early drops. So at least 2 of those is fine. Moving into 2 drops. We're going with none of these. Piglet, 4 of easy auto include. You're gonna take the stuff that like just quests for a lot here. Windy Darling's not bad. It doesn't die to fire the cannons or baboom, so it'll probably run 3. So that gives you on curve. You're doing really well here. Bare necessities, you want at least 3. You want to be able to dodge the grab your swords and the B preps and stuff. So you want those. I'm going into 2 drops. 2/2 Maleficent, probably fine. How many uninkables are we at right now? We're at 7. What just happened? That was weird. Alright. I also gotta, hold on a second. I gotta do something really quick, guys. Oh my. Oh, there we go. I'm going to turn that off just so you guys can see the deck list. Sorry about that. Alright. There. Now you can see the deck list. Gosh dang it. My video was like that the whole time today, huh? Okay. So we got the... where are we at? So we got the Windy Darling. The Piglets. Probably 2 Pinocchios. Just because. It's quest for 3, which is insane. There was another 2-drop that was pretty good from set 5. What was it? This card's insane. Well, that's an auto include 4 of. Gathering Knowledge. Maybe it wasn't a 2-drop that came out of set 5 that I'm looking for. The Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom is a very good card, by the way. Just, hey, I'll gain 2. Hey, I'll gain 2. Hey, I'll gain 2. It's like, there's nothing you can really do about that. So you got 4, 6, 9, 13 uninkables is probably fine. I don't know you want to go much above that. 2-drop Maleficent. 2/2 quest for 2 for 2. 2 for 2 for 2. Let's see. Amethyst Chromicon. Well, why not? This card is so good. I can't tell you how good this is.
Poopsie the gorilla. Hey, nice to see you. How you been? I'm glad you stopped in to say hi. No, man, you're good. Where you been hiding at? Yeah, no kidding. Hey, like we've missed you, man. We haven't seen you in a while. All right, so the Amethyst Chromacon in the list is extremely important because the deck needs the Amethyst Chromacon, it helps out a lot. It helps refill our hands. We again in a deck like this, we do not care how many cards our opponent has in their hand. We're gonna win before turn 7. Like, so they can draw all of the B preps and all of the stuff that they want. Um, we're just gonna win way before they can even play that. All right, so just keep that in mind. So hyper aggro and combo decks do not care about their opponent's drawing cards. We want to draw the cards. We want to draw the cards so we can maintain the board pressure. All right, so that's why we're including that. Planning on coming back out again. Just been going through some life stuff. Sure. Totally reasonable, man. You know, the community is what has been kind of worried because nobody has heard from you for a while. So, you know, I'm glad you're in here and we can confirm that you're looks like you say that you've been doing better. So, I mean, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. We're gonna play the Donald Duck in this list too because giving the piglet or giving anything just an extra like lore and a body is really good. So that's good. So that one's good. Felix is actually not too bad neither because it's a 2/4 body. So again, it doesn't die to boom, fire the cannons, that sort of stuff. So Felix might actually be fine in the list. It's probably a card that's worth testing. But as of right now, we're gonna pass over him. We are gonna put I think we're gonna put Pongo. I kind of want to. Hey, you're not interrupting anything, man. We're all here to hang out, brew some decks, and have a good time. All right. So, you know, feel free to stay in here and chat with us and everything else. You know, you're a really good. Yeah, the infamous Luke Schmelio. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, so Donald Duck. What do we got in the 3-drop spot? Archimedes. 2/2 evasive. I don't know that we can actually pass that up. We can have. It could be a 3 of. It's fine. All right, let's see. What else we got? Gale. I absolutely love this card. 1/2. When this character is banished in a challenge, return it to your hand. So, yeah, sure. It quests for 2. You kill it. I get it back. Like, it's as simple as that, right? I think this is an auto include 4 of. It's just a reoccurring threats. That's why like Perdita's so good in just about every list that she's in, right? Because she just reoccurs threats from the discard. So I mean, like if you can't just remove the card, it's such a problem to deal with, and it just gets annoying, right? So like eventually your opponent will have to use like a boom, fire the cannons, smash, who knows. They'll have to use something to get rid of the Gale. But they can't. Oh my gosh, they can't challenge. I cut my thumb at work today. You guys can't see it because my camera's being weird. But I cut my thumb at work today, so I got this big bandage on my thumb, and I keep fat fingering the clicks on the side. So, so there's. Oh gosh, dang it. So we were down at Gale. And once again, I do apologize for not using Dreamborn. My Dreamborn's being difficult. I'll get it figured out tonight and get everything transferred over. Alright. The other thing is it's difficult to see the pie chart. So we got, let's see. This character quest, you may choose and discard a card, then return chosen character, item, or location with 3 or less to the player's hand. I don't think that's necessarily playable on this list. We got enough cards. We got enough things here to play the Friends. So Friends is an auto for include, because who doesn't like to draw cards when they're playing aggro, right? None of these really do anything for our deck. Lucky Grumpy, no. Like, Rapunzel would be cool if we were actually playing something that was worth running Rapunzel for. This card, though, Sven. When you play this character, you may ready chosen character. They can't quest or challenge for the rest of the turn. So this is like one of those things that, like, you quest with Piglet. You quest with Piglet, play Sven so you can protect your Piglet from being challenged. That's kind of the idea there. So, auto include 4 of. I don't know what that Minnie Mouse says, so we're going to skip over that one for now. Bruni. When this character is banished, you may draw a card. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's like a little. It's like an inkable rabbit, right? It's an inkable one-time use rabbit, but it has to also be challenged. No, it's when it's banished. So if they somehow put this into your inkwell, you don't draw. So I don't like it. It could be fine, but the fact that it like dies to a lot of stuff and it won't get you the 2 lore is kind of where I don't like it, but I can also see why it would be good. This might be actually the part of the deck where we just throw in 4 foxes and 4 rabbit, or 4 foxes and 4 snakes, just to protect. And those aren't there for anything crazy except for to protect like your small things. Excuse me. There is one other card that I think is absolutely good in a list like this. And it is no other than this dude. I'm playing a lot of 3-drops already. I don't know if I like this Archimedes. I mean, that might actually just become goats. But then if we're playing goats, we're probably playing snakes and foxes, so we might actually make room for it. Shift 3, so it's a 5-drop, 5 inkable. Shift 3. 1/4. Evasive, which is really good. Challenger 3. Which, if you need to take something out, then you need to take something out, right? But the Archimedes is really good. So it's essentially the same thing as this, but it has better stats, right? So I think that's actually, I think we probably cut that one. We add 4 of these. Then we probably add 4 goats and then a bounce package. All right, hey, take it easy, Beast Bender. Hey, we call him Beast Bender because he bends beast when he's playing. We're talking about the sad beast too, guys. Just so everybody has a little bit of a backstory. So I think that we want to play goats and snakes now, right? Just kind of have that thing that pushes us over the lore. So we'll go back up. Where's our goats at? I don't really think we care about rabbit in this list anymore. Just because they have the Chromacon. I think the Chromacon is... Where is my Chromacons? Did I not put them in here? I thought I did. Oh, there they are. The Amethyst Chromacon. I think this is actually one of my favorite cards from the new set. I absolutely love it. Alright, and then we'll put snakes in here. We're not really concerned about the foxes. Our 3-drop slot's actually kind of convoluted. So I think if I built a hyper aggro list, it would look something like this. Maybe trim down on the bare necessities. But I think that it would look something like this. Because you got the Archimedes, you have the shiftable target, and then you have the other Maleficents. You have the daisies, the piglets, and the Wendies. The Wendies might be a little clunky, maybe, but it's a 1/3. It's a 1/3 that doesn't die very easy. Like whenever you're building hyper aggro, that's kind of what you want to look for. Yeah, I think that this would be probably the way that I build it. So we'll name this hyper aggro. That's 61 cards. Weird. We need to cut something. What are we cutting? Maybe we cut. Probably want to cut an uninkable, right? Oh my, it's so hard. Maybe we just cut. I don't want to cut the Pinocchios. Pinocchios are so good. We will cut. We'll cut a bare necessities. We only need 2. We only need them when we only need them when we need them. All right, so we'll save that one. It gives us 4 decks that we've brewed, and I might have time for one more. So let's do. All right, we're gonna pull the trigger on it, guys. We're gonna pull the trigger on it. We're going to do Amber Sapphire. Amber Sapphire. Amber Sapphire what? You guessed it. Princesses. Let's do princesses. So, back in set 1, I've made a princess deck that was actually really, really good. I won a box with it, believe it or not. It was called, I named it Battle Princesses. So let's start with, I don't think that the 1-drop is, I think this is just an ally, right? Yeah, it's just an ally. Darn. We can't play the cracked princess in an ally, or we can't play the cracked card in an ally, or in a princess deck. Let's see. We got Jasmine. What princesses do we have? Let's see. Set. We don't care about set. We care about keywords. We don't care about keywords. Classification. Here we go. Where's it at? Princess. Show me the princesses. Hey, yikes. Okay, let's see. We have interesting. Just kind of look around a little bit first. There's actually quite a few that are pretty decent. I don't know. So Vanellope von Schweetz. Like, we play this one, right? Like, whenever you play another princess, all opposing characters get -1 until the start of your next turn. Is it just me, or is that just like borderline insane? I'm not sure what that says. That looks German. Alright, so we're starting out with, gosh dang it. We're gonna start out with the Vanellopes. Alright, Vanellope into, let's do Kita's 2. No, with the Vanellopes we don't need to worry about lowering strength more, right? Hey, thanks for the raid there, Misplay Matt. Funny story, I actually like to misplay a lot too, so yeah, pretty cool. Oh, misraid. No, misraid or misplay? Maybe it was a misplay raid. It's going pretty good. So we're currently we are just brewing new decks. We're brewing new decks with set 5 before set 5 releases. Dude, I got this really big itch to just play, you know. I would really like to do some playing, but the cards aren't released yet and there's no events going on locally, so we're just brewing. So for those of you who just joined, Bro! Hey, I appreciate the follow. Cold Brew Danny. I love the name. Love the name. Bro! Oh man, you guys are awesome. You guys are really awesome. The so we've okay, so we've done yeah, we are actually doing a princess deck here. So I was just talking about this too. So I was just talking about this. So back in set 1, I actually had a deck that was Amber Sapphire, and it was all princesses. So the name of the deck was Battle Princesses, right? Because essentially the idea of the deck was you quest out, you use Moana, untap everything, and then you challenge everything, right? So like that was the idea of the deck. And it was really fun. I actually took it to a winner box and beat all of the quote unquote top meta decks, right? So given that we have like more princess synergies 5 sets later, I figured that we would go ahead and we would make a princess deck. No, the 1-drop Daisy is not a princess, and I'm really salty about it. Right? This is guys and ladies and guys, gentle peoples. This card is the most cracked card in this entire set. Like, we're looking at a 1/4 with the only downside being uninkable. This is the only downside to this card is being uninkable. And people are like, but it draws your opponent's cards. All right? But do those cards really matter if you just win by turn 5? Yeah, like that was, I had the classification set to princess, and then it was like something like weirded out or whatever, and then the thing popped up. So yeah, we're building a princess deck we're building a princess deck, guys. Isn't this exciting? Like we're gonna build a princess deck together. So we got the 1-drop Vanellope Von Sweets, because we're gonna play the 4-drop Vanellope Von Sweets that says whenever you play another princess, all opposing characters get -1 until the start of your next turn. Yeah, I actually thought about the same thing. The same thing. Misplay Matt. The vanilla or the Daisy with Merlin's Cottage. It seems like it would be really cool, right? For those of you who are for those of you who haven't played played Magic the Gathering before, there's an actual deck called Lantern Control, where the lantern, both players play with the top card of their deck revealed, and then you also play a card called Soul Guide Lantern, right? So you can play the Soul Guide Lantern, or the Codex Shredder. It's a Codex Shredder. The Codex Shredder says you can exert it or tap it, and your opponent mills a card. So essentially, you're looking at the top card of your opponent's library, and you're like, yeah, that's a little too good. That's a little too good. And then you tap it, and then it goes to their graveyard. Like, that's what you do the whole game. Is you manipulate what your opponent's drawing for their turn. So essentially, the later it goes in the game, like your opponent's just drawing lands essentially. Like it's ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, I had the same idea. But like in Lorcana, it seems like it's a little bit different, right? Because like you can only, like, if it's like, you kind of want their non-characters to go to their hand, and then their characters to go to the bottom, right? Unless you're playing against like actions, like B preps or stuff like that. Like it's actually pretty ridiculous. All right, so we got we've been building this princess deck for like 10 minutes now, and we got 8 cards. So we got Vanellope 1-drop, but Vanellope 4-drop. What else are we? Steel Song. Steel Song is going to be amazing. 100%. I'm very excited for Steel Song. So I think we're actually gonna play this mini, so we can play the 5-drop mini. And the 5-drop mini might not be as good as what I hope, but it's a princess that brings out another princess. I also think that the Jasmine is fine, or the 1-drop Jasmine is fine. So we have 2 shiftable 1-drop targets, a shiftable 2-drop target, or yeah. The Naveen is insanely. I call the Naveen aerial insurance. That's what I think it is. Like, Ariel gets the song. Most of the time, your opponent's gonna kill the Ariel, so it can't sing it, and then you just play Naveen and play it anyway. Gosh dang it. I don't know what just happened. Sorry about that. My computer is being a little weird today, but we're getting through it. So my day has started off good. You know, we woke up. Starting out waking up. That's always a good start, right? And then went to work. Cut piece of my finger off. Pretty neat. Came home. My webcam stopped working. My computer started being a little glitchy. It's been a day. But we're getting through it. It's fine. I think I'm gonna include the 3-drop Jasmine. It's a 3/3, doesn't die to fire the cannons. It avoids the brawl. I think it's fine. 3/3 quest for 2. It's probably fine. Next one, we need the Rapunzels. Rapunzels are really good here. So Aurora. All right, hey, thanks for the raid, Misplay Matt. It was it was good talking to you. I'm glad I ran into another person that is aware of the lantern control possibility in Lorcana. It's pretty neat. So I was thinking about running the Aurora, right? The one that gives all of your characters ward, but then I was like, why don't we just play the Bell? Right? She herself has ward, and she gives everything else ward. It's kind of nice, right? Or maybe it's maybe one of those Kalos knows dose, right? Why not both? Maybe we just run 2 of the Bell because they're uninkable, and we have some other non-inkables that we would like to run too, and we'll get on that. We'll get to that in just a second here. So maybe it is worth running the Auroras, just because another shift for 3 is always nice. If we're running that Aurora, we need to run one of the 2 drops. I'm thinking that we'd probably run the one with ward, just so it's not as easily removed. And then we have the Rapunzels for some card draw. We have the Jasmine, so we need these Jasmines too, right? Whenever you play this character and whenever she quests, remove up to 2 damage from each of your other characters. Could come in handy, right? So you fight some stuff, like princesses do, right? Princesses like to fight too, So then we have, I think we want this Rapunzel in this list. Whenever you remove 1 or more damage from one of your characters, you can draw a card. So it's another draw engine that synergizes with your Queen of Agrabah and your 1-drop. So you can, who doesn't like to draw cards? Probably just play 3 of them, honestly. And then most of these are all like 2 questers and stuff. So I mean, like, we're getting there. Moana's a 3 quester. We didn't put Moana in here. All right, so Moana's gonna be the bread and butter of the deck, right? Because 1, she doesn't die to Zeus, right? And whenever this character quests, you may ready your other princess characters, and they can't quest. So you're potentially setting up like a massive princess fight club here, which is pretty sweet. Who doesn't like it when princesses beat each other up? And then that's all of these princesses. We got a lot of princesses here. So we got 45 characters. We only got 2 non-inkables, which is good, which is both of these bells. Our curve is looking pretty nice. Could probably go for another 3-drop, honestly. So what 3-drop princesses do we have? We have the Jasmine, which we already have. Maybe we just include the other Moana. It could be that could be fine. Playing this Moana, or even the Mulan, right? The Mulan. 2/3 quest for 2. It has support though, so it can, that's what I'm thinking too, is the Mulan for the fighting support, especially if we're gonna plan on like Moana questing and then we just go fight a bunch of stuff, right? So yeah, I think that she does make the cut. So we're gonna get rid of the princess classification here, and oh man, this program is kind of weird. So we're going to go ahead and save the list just in case it messes up. So we pushed that little refresh button earlier and it kind of messed everything up. And we'll go back to Amber Sapphire. So what is one thing that we like on the characters? Because I think we like characters with big butts, right? Who doesn't like? Alice is not a princess, unfortunately. I actually looked into that. So Rapunzel's Tower characters here get +3 to the badonk. So big lore, big bodies. I think that that's not the Rapunzel's Tower. Rapunzel's Tower. I think a Rapunzel's Tower is a 2 of. Yeah, I mean that is true. We can include Alice, but like Alice really isn't Alice really isn't a princess though. Nor does it say princess on the card. Like I get it. But we can kind of stick to theme and play. Who's that one guy? Grand Duke, right? Your princess characters get +1. It's not as good as some things, but I mean, like, it puts some of our princesses like just above the brawl range, right? So what do we got? As long as they're above the brawl range, then it's cool, in the Medusa range. So I mean, like, Grand Duke, I think Grand Duke makes the cut here. Like, it's not as good as support. I get that. Also, we still need to fish out the other mini. Holy smokes. We're getting limited on space here. Maybe the minis don't even make the cut. Amber Chromacon kind of synergizes with our the 5-drop Rapunzel. Remove a damage from each of your characters. Like, guys, I'm telling you, like, whenever you have a lot of damage on your, like, whenever you're trying to, like, whenever you're fighting things and your opponent's like, oh yeah, this is fine, and you're just removing all the damage and drawing cards, like, I think it could be kind of annoying. Like, I don't even, like, I kind of just want to run the Amber Chromacon over the Rapunzel's Tower now. But I don't know. Let's see, what else we got? What's this one say? If you have a prince or king character here. Down with the patriarchy, right? Why couldn't I say queen or princess? Not even queen, it just needed to say princess on it. Princess would have been fine. Not playable. Let's see. 3 drops. There's like a certain, there was this. Yeah, that right. I'm right there with you. It's upsetting, honestly. The what else we got? The Great Illuminary. What's this one do? Characters with support get +1 lore and +2. Guys, if we, okay, so yeah, I get it. We're building a princess deck, but we're gonna go back to what Lycos said, right? So what if Alice gives everything support, and then we're playing the Great Illuminary? Are we, like, is that, like, we get bigger bodies and we get another lore, like, or am I being trying to be too cute with this? What do you guys think? You get +1 lore and +2 willpower. Everyone that has support gets +1 lore and +2 willpower. Like, it's kind of neat, right? But it might be too cute. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what we're doing. I think we're gonna do. So we're gonna cut the Rapunzel's Tower, right? We're gonna cut the Rapunzel's Tower because we've got the Great Illuminary now. I think with that idea, we're gonna do 3 and 4. So then we're gonna go find Alice Growing Girl. She was what she had 3-drop or a 4-drop? Oh, there she is. She is a hero. The moving cost is 2. It costs 2 to move there. Like, maybe, gosh dang it. I'm really not. I'm really not a fan of the Saph. But it's all I have to work with right now. So it costs 2 to move there, 9 willpower, and it's a 3 drop. I wish it gave like 1 power, 1 lore, and 1 willpower. Or 1 strength. Well, strength, right? Strength, lore, willpower. I wish that's what it did. If it gave 1, 1, 1 to where it could push our princesses further away from being brawled or Medusa'd, I think this card would be really well. I think it would be pretty good. Also, I'd really like it. I would have really liked it if it was a non-inkable 3 and 1 less willpower, but only 1 to move there. Like if they cut everything by 1, I think it would also be, or not everything by 1. I'm sorry. If they took it the moving to the location down by 1, made it 1 willpower less, but made it non-inkable, I think it would be a lot better. I think I am gonna actually cut these Minnie Mouses for my secret sauce. Because everybody likes that, like, hey, this steak tastes really good. What's your secret ingredient kind of deal, you know? And then you're like, a chef never gives away his secrets or whatever. But since you guys are here, I'll let you have it. 4 just-in-times, all right? That's the secret sauce that holds this deck together. Because now it turns all of our 5-drop that we like, turns them all into 3 drops, which I think is very powerful. So, and who knows, maybe this list is a little memey, but you guys missed the disclaimer at the beginning of the towards the beginning of the stream too. So whenever there's a new meta, right? Whenever there's a new set that comes out as events start happening, they come out with these pie charts, right? They come out with these really cool pie charts, and it lets you see the meta breakdown, right? It's like 23% of people are playing Bucky, 22% of people are playing the deck that counters Bucky, 18% is playing the deck that counters the counter to Bucky. And it goes around in a circle, right? It goes 23 all the way down to like 0.0 or 0.1, 0.2%. And the 0.1, 0.2% say other. All right? And that's where you'll find your boy. Your boy hangs out there with those 0.1% people. Cuz that's what we like to do. So yeah, I think that this is, I wish there was a way to like look at. Okay, so 53 characters. That's pretty good. Got 3 locations and 4 actions. Oh, man. It's like every time I think about it, it's like I'm always like, there's another card we need. Because there's a really good item. This one. At the start of your turn, if you have a princess or queen in play, gain 1 lore. Pay 2. Exert it. Reveal a top card of your deck. If it's a princess or queen character card, you may put that card in your hand. Otherwise, leave it on top. I just think that it is worth noting that since we are playing princesses, we need to play this as a 4 of. So that being said, we need to cut something. We need to cut 4 cards. Yeah. With the princess thing, I think we actually have to cut the Alice here, to be honest with you. I think we have to cut the Alice to make room for the Queen Censor core. The Grand Duke gives all of the princesses +1. And we're playing the 4-drop Mulan that has support, so it might actually be worth cutting the Alice, as much as I would not like to do that. Actually, if we're playing the Great Illuminary and the Alice, then we can't cut that, right? maybe we cut. I don't know. Maybe we cut the. I don't really want to cut the bells, but I think we have to. Or we just cut the auroras, right? This is where deck building always gets hard. Is whenever you go over by just a little bit and you have to find and then you have to cut stuff. So let's take a look and see if the Great Illuminary is actually what we want to run. Because if it's not, then we can just cut the Alices and the Great Illuminary. I actually like the Alice in this list though. So I don't know. I don't know that we'll actually remove that regardless. Whenever one of your character's quests, you may look at the top card of your deck. Put it on the top or the bottom. That's weird. Hideaway is actually a really good card too. There's a lot of this set. This set is amazing. I love this set because I think it adds so much diversity to deck building. Like we're sitting here like brewing a princess deck right now because we might actually have the cards to do it. We could consider playing the Revive because all of our characters cost less than 5 too. So it's just like 5 to play Moana again because Moana's probably gonna get hated off the field. Alright, what's this one do? Okay, that we're not playing items, so that doesn't matter. I really wish this Maribel was like. I really wish that on certain cards were worded like slightly different, like Revive. I wish that the Revive would say 5 non-inkable, put a character from your discard into play. That'd be nice. That would make this playable. And Revive would be more playable. But I think that the biggest use that people are getting out of the Maribel right now from other people that I've watched is pairing it with Emerald because of the 3-drop queen. You can discard it. I think it's a 3-drop queen. The green 3-cost queen, discard a card, gain lore equal to that character's lore. I think that's what it is. Merlin's carpet bag, return an item. So we're not playing items, so we don't have to worry about that. Snow White is a princess. Whenever this character quests, you may return a character card from your discard to your hand, but it only goes to your hand. See, I'd rather it just go into play, like Perdita, but slightly better. Those aren't princesses. Trying to stay on princess theme here. I'm not really seeing much that catches my eye. This mini is not even a princess either. What's this one? Evasive. Oh yeah, I guess we don't have anything that takes care of evasives, do we? What's our plan against evasive? Just lose? Oh, that's funny. Let's see. I think that if we like playing against a deck with evasives, I think that like the biggest plan here is just like race, right? Like our racing goes a lot faster than their racing does. Maybe we just I bet Amber Sapphire. Oh, this one's actually pretty good. When you play this character, if a princess or queen character is in play, gain 1 lore. 1 lore. If when you play this character, if a princess or a queen yeah, but Cruella's not a princess though. Like if we're playing Cruella, we're deviating from the princess. I think that racing is honestly just a plan. Like so like let's say you're playing against evasives, right? Like what's the best evasive character aside from Diablo? Is it Archimedes? That quest for 2, the Archimedes quest for 2, right? But guess what beats Archimedes? Where's she at? Moana. Moana beats Archimedes. I do hope that they make like a legendary shiftable Moana. I fell in love with this card in chapter 1. I fell in love with this card in chapter 1. All right, so I am not seeing much to substitute out for the Great Illuminary and Alice. Which means that they might just end up staying in. Yeah, I don't think that we're really concerned. I don't think that we're really concerned that much with like I don't know, the Vanellope is really good. It's gonna make sure that some of our characters don't die whenever we're fighting, and then Jasmine just heals them up. I actually kind of really like this list. It looks fine, especially if you go like Vanellope turn 1, Queen Censor turn 2, and then the 4-drop Vanellope turn 4, and then you're able to just in time a Moana into play, or just in time, I don't know, anything into play really. Like it seems like it could be pretty decent. You establish a board state. You're pumping your characters up with the Grand Duke. Makes everything stronger. Like yeah, I like it. We still need to make 4 cuts. Gosh dang it. I like the bell because the bell's effect works on play. So like on your turn 4 before your opponent's turn 4, you can just play the bell and give everything ward. So they can't, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the stuff is probably just going to get brawled anyway. I don't know. I think it's fine. But we need to, I think I'm going to cut both of those. Now we need to make 2 more cuts. So maybe we trim down one of these and one of these. And then it's like one of those things where Alice is good in almost every situation. With like, okay, quest, give this character, make them, and then they attack something. And then if you draw the Great Illuminary late game, then you can just move your characters to the Great Illuminary and then quest out and win. That's probably fine. We will name this Set 5 Battle Princess. Yeah. Also, if you go to the bottom of my Twitch, you can also find me on Twitter. My Twitter should be on there. Make sure you send me a follow on Twitter too. I'll post some of these deck lists on Twitter. All right, so we have brewed 6 decks today. So we have, what is this? That is not hyper aggro. Holy smokes, what did I do? Is this the final iteration? This is not the final iteration. So we're going to delete that one. We have brewed 5 decks today. I apologize. Emerald Steel Prison. We'll go through a brief recap really quick for those of you who have missed it. So Emerald Steel Prison is a variation of a Magic the Gathering deck that I played once upon a time called Prison. And essentially the goal is to get Jafar out on the field with a Mother Gothel, so that it stops your opponents from questing while she's exerted. Jafar says opposing characters with 4 or less can't challenge. At this point, the only character that you're really scared of is Maui. And then Pete makes it to where your opponents can't play actions. So your opponents can't challenge, quest, or play actions. So it kind of sounds like I can't do anything, which is where the name Prison comes from. All right. Next one, Battle Princesses. We just built this deck together. Moana. You quest out. You ready everything with Moana. You attack things. You heal them with Jasmine. You draw cards with Rapunzel. Pretty neat concept. Hyper Aggro. We're just dropping characters. We're dropping characters and we're green light going till we get to 20. Daisy Duck. Piglet. Donald. Alright. This is the Ruby Amber list we came up with. So we're utilizing the Robin Hood. Alright. And we're utilizing Revive. So the goal here is to quest with Robin Hood and revive characters that may or may not be alive, or that are not alive because they're in your discard. Using Blast from your past as a one of, in case all of your Chernobyls are in your discard, then you can blast from your past your Chernobyls back to your hand. And then shuffle all of your characters that Robin Hood milled away. And then after that, it's typical. It's just, I'm not going to say it's a typical Mufasa list, but reviving Mufasa over and over again is pretty good. From what I hear. I don't know. I've never played Mufasa. We named it the Ducknamic Duo because of Daisy and Donald. Alright, so Daisy, 1-drop, cracked. Best 1-drop in the game now. Probably best card in the set. Outside of Pete. I'm a huge fan of Pete. So, top 2 cards in the set, from my opinion, are Daisy Duck and Pete Referee, or whatever his name is. Then the Jafar wheel list. I had to make a Jafar wheel list because it's the list that I played in, what's it called? Fort Worth. So, typical Jafar, you shift Jafar, you sing Whole New World, you draw 7 cards, gain 7 lore, that sort of thing. The hardest thing about it is keeping Jafars alive, because your opponents like to cast or like to play actions and just get rid of your Jafars. So we're playing Pete. I like Pete because you can bounce Pete with Fox and Snake. And when you bounce Pete with Fox and Snake, you can replay Pete to make your opponent not play actions again. So if they can't play actions, they can't kill your Jafar. It makes it easier to combo. That's essentially where we're at with this list. But yeah, so those are 5 decks that we brewed today. I'm going to end the stream here. However, make sure you push the follow button. We're going to do more deck techs. We're going to do more deck brewing. We're going to do a lot of playtesting whenever set 5 releases, actually. And then, what's it called? Later tonight, my wife and I, Lycos 14 is my wife. But we will be doing a recap of our Dallas Fort Worth experience and kind of talking about stuff. But so we're gonna do that tonight. probably around 10ish Central Standard Time. So make sure you come back and watch that. All right. But we will find you guys a home as far as rating goes. Let me see here.
Bro!
I appreciate that follow. Means a lot. Hana Lork. Hane Lork. I think that Lork stands for Lorcana. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But we will. Okay, back to. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. I get sidetracked a lot. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh my. Are there really nobody's streaming Disney Lorcana right now? You gotta be kidding me. Alright, let's see. We'll find you guys a home. Actually, let me go look at something really quick.
Another challenge into this.
Oh no.
Let me take a gander at the challenges.
Quiet. Oh, it's really crazy. I guess I am the only one that's streaming right now. Let's see. I don't know. Okay, I got a really good friend of mine that's streaming right now, so I'm gonna send you guys over to him. He's a really cool guy. So let's go say what's up to none other than my good friend Garrick Relentless. Where you at, Garrick? Following.
Nassif, Wafo, Jabor, who's also like in that ilk of control masters.
Damn it. Not enough. I mean, do it again, I guess. Boris is actually pretty decent. Yo, Brohammington, my brother. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. How was your stream? Plus round. What is happening right now? What is happening? What are we grape shotting? Oh, chat, I don't know what's happening.